Start up this week's adventure of Dungeons and Dragons. We find our players right inside of this big, mighty area where the waterfalls are pouring down over top of the map. You can feel or hear the water just splashing up, these tidal waves moving around the edges of where the water is at, going down and draining out into separate caverns. At the very heart of the battlefield is this large machine with these strange armatures and pylons aimed as though ready to fire at some great mechanical object. At the center of the place, a huge wall of corpses spews out from where the strange pink fleshy gunk is located, almost like gum-like texture, consistency, flavor, and coloration. Down here you have this salty spray as though you're underneath the ocean that you can smell through your nostrils, mixing with that strange, almost syrupy or sugar-like scent of the flesh. You're in the middle of fighting the drow, and you had just watched as Xanthar had fallen deep down into the goop. But when we start today, this session, you will watch as a wholly different being places a hand onto the edge of the lip, places a second one. This armor begins to shine, gleam, and glisten as he pulls himself out. Big, mighty wings flash up with the gunk spraying outwards. A mighty golden halo rising off of the pearly white, gleaming armor of this clad individual with their hair flowing in the backdrop as though in some movie set. He rises with a smolder in his eyes as he says,
"Where am I? How did I get here?"
You look around you, Xanthar, as you ask where you are, what is going on, and the scene before you is outstretched with Pox and Solana in the backdrop behind you. A wall of corpses split off between the drow who are, you can hear them sort of clanging their weapons against the wall. And before you is a Paladin, Ghroga, who is in a battle stance ready to fight around all the rushing water. What do you want to do? It's your turn in combat.
Does that look like Xanthar, in a way?
Xanthar, you can describe, since Ghroga asked, what do you look like now?
I don't look anything like my former self, which I don't remember anything about what happened, but I'm a scourged Aasimar that was essentially just came out of this pit and grew out my wings.
Is your hair on the miniature accurate? Because it is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
I am intimidated by that hair. I'm gonna roll to shove him back into the pit.
Someone else is going to be prettier than you, and you can't handle it.
I wear a mask because I'm too ugly. Damn it! Look at how perfect he is. I just have to squish it. You do.
So he's canonically
pointed.
gorgeous, right?
Oh yeah, he's canonically gorgeous. I mean, all the women swoon when they see him. Even the men are like, gosh, I wish I could put that in my pocket.
Hashtag canonically gorgeous.
Canonically gorgeous. Xanthar, it is your turn in combat. What would you like to do?
Alright, so let's see where I am here. I don't want to walk back into that pit again, but
That's a good idea. That's an excellent first idea. Don't do that.
Okay, so there's two drow here. Okay. And Ghroga's up about 30 feet away.
It's probably I think like 25, 20. Yeah, it's like 20 feet.
Yeah. Let me get into my character sheet here.
I know, you're throwing
Where's
you
my
in
guy?
right in the deep end. First one to go. We start with combat.
Might have to refresh this. Oh, there we are. Okay. I might throw a bless on a couple people here.
Hopefully you pick the right side.
What's up?
Hopefully you pick the right side. Start blessing the drow. Like,
I mean, I think that would be delightful.
Oh my god.
I'm all here
Shove
for
it back in the pit.
Keep in my roll for shoving him in the pit.
It's,
He
three
does.
creatures with bless ways. So, and you can bless yourself, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
So you could choose, like, for example,
Ghroga.
Solana, Ghroga, and Pox and be super selfless, or you could choose Xanthar, Xanthar, and Xanthar, or you could choose.
No, I'm gonna do the 3 minus myself.
Okay.
Oh, selfless.
Very well.
So it's what, 1d4?
That's right. You rise out of the pit, you raising your weapons, this pearlescent gleaming armor shining off as your wings spread wide. You say a word of blessings, and each of your allies around you suddenly feel this power well up inside of them. As your gorgeous words, you open your mouth, and it's like the sweetest sound they've ever heard. Just tickles their ears.
And for my bonus action, I'll cast Spiritual Weapon.
Where would you like to cast your spiritual weapon, sir?
I'm gonna put it right between these 2 drow, behind them.
Unfortunately, your vision of them is obscured currently by a wall of corpses. But that doesn't stop you from being able to, like, put the weapon down and, like, move it over to attack at them. So you could, like, put it there and then float it around.
Oh yeah. All right, so yeah, the one that's closest to Ghroga. I want to swing at that one.
Absolutely can do that. Go for it. Make the attack roll.
Oops, my bad. Hold on.
That was damage. It was damn good damage, though.
So 14.
A 14, unfortunately, does not breach the armor class of these drow. The weapon swings around to the side, and as this huge, blunt object of faith tries to slam into the front of his face, he just sort of nimbly ducks away, and the hammer misses its swing.
Okay, and my turn.
All right, Ghroga, we go to you.
So I've
A
got this
flash
giant
of light,
wall.
some tickling words, and yes, there is a wall of corpses in front of you.
Okay.
And thus,
And
the
yeah, I get-
line of pink gunk is the wall of corpses.
And
It
I
is
do
steaming.
feel that. I feel that blessed though, right? That's what you were describing. sorry.
Absolutely. You certainly do. You don't see the four-armed drow, though, anymore? Spider-like?
Well, I'm quite hurt, so I think I will just lay on hands myself here.
When I think about drow, I touch myself. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't want anybody else. That's what you do.
There.
All right, you touch yourself with your hands. You pump this healing, restorative magic through your body. You restore as many hit points as you wish to expend. What else would you like to do?
Sorry, 1 second. And then, let's see. That's my action. I don't really have much for a bonus action.
Good old paladins.
Yeah.
Shove
I'm going to.
Pit.
Yeah. I think I will back up here a little bit. Oh, why is
Careful.
Stop! My tail spark keeps.
Demon Gun got you using the hops.
Oh God, that's God.
What
He's
is this?
ingrained me with that, man.
Hold on, now I need to measure. What is this?
Don't let me. I am never using those hops again. Hold on.
I mean, if you want to use the hops, you can use the hop. I'm just gonna measure you. That's all.
No, I'm not using hops. I don't like hops. There's
Apparently
nothing.
you do.
There's nothing that I will be stepping in, similar to what my friend here just stepped in.
That's
right?
correct. Yes, you're walking on very solid wood, and as you go across the beams, you can hear the pitter-patter. It's thick, it's sturdy. You can sense with that strange sixth sense that humans have that whatever it is you're standing on is not at all fragile. You ever realize as a human being that you can somehow tell how thick or sturdy something is by touching it, just feeling like the atoms inside? That's a wild thing that humans can do that, like, it lets you know you're safe, man. This thing ain't gonna collapse underneath you. There's no slide, no gunk, there's no traps.
I'll move over this way, but I'll keep my eye on this new feathered friend that we have.
Sure. Very well. You are drawn to them as we go to the gladiators, the drow. The first one turns around and seeing no other target than like the big wall of corpses blocking him, seeing no other target than the dwarf over there, he is going to like bring out those blades and then just like sort of like, you know, heaving, huffing breath as he walks on over, and you can hear the sounds of as his blood gets spilled across the bridge, and the drow just like goes cleaving and stabbing into him. You can hear sort of a sound from the dwarf saying, oh no! Not me! No, them! Not me! What happens to the drow is to the dwarf as he backs away is unknown, but he definitely doesn't look like he's doing too good. Meanwhile, the other drow continues to advance. He is going to run up to the edge of this pillar where he can see Solana, as well. Almost, Pox, almost. And as he goes around the edge, he like goes over to the side, takes out a blade, sort of licks the edges of the thing, and is gonna chuck it at Solana.
Cool.
Cool. All right, so Solana, your first attack as he throws one blade is 13 to hit.
Thou miss.
I know, isn't that wonderful? The next one
It's
is
so
an
nice.
20.
Okay. Okay. I will. Yeah, it hits. I was debating doing shield in order to build up the ward, but I already have the ward, so we'll just use it. So we're good.
Okay. As the thing flies through the air, you see the blade as it's moving towards you. He sort of makes this this chanting noise in the drow language, or in infernal. It's just something like he sort of spits out these words, and you see these like little evil script going along the edge of the blade. As it stabs into your body, you can feel a stinging poisonous sensation move throughout. You take 22 poison damage.
Okay. So my arcane ward is a no-go after that. Kinda
Only 2
loops
piercing.
out.
Only 2 piercing.
So the 21 was with the 2. Okay. Yes, exactly. I have 2 left. Yeah.
And then I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw as the drow poisons, burdened by this infernal curse, seems to try flooding into your blood.
Okay.
You can feel the horridness of it.
There's already a tenant living here. Get out.
Okay. Natural 18 plus 1, so 19.
Hey, nice! As the dagger flashes into your body, you can feel the infernal fires beginning to melt through your blood like some strange otherworldly poison or acid. You realize that this is like a very tense necrotic burst that's like tightening your muscles in your body, but you've felt this before back in the Seele realm. You've sensed this dread sense of undeath in your body before, and that gives you some resolve to steel yourself against whatever's coming. You sort of brace yourself, pluck out the dagger, and like throw it to the ground before too much of the curse can leach into your body. But the drow before you seems very satisfied in his toss. He only has 2 instead of 4 weapons left, but he does sort of like whirl them around like a drummer does some drumsticks. He throws one into the air, catches it behind his back, and then goes, "Nah." Gives you like a, Gene Simmons tongue stick out sort of a thing. Pox, we go to you.
Show off.
Also, I'd like to say I cannot see initiative order, but
What? How about now?
I can.
There we go.
Wow.
We love Tailspire. It is the greatest tool, the single greatest VTT that is out there on the market. Flawless, totally supreme in everything it does. And if you haven't used it yet, you need to.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you. That's
I-
my plug. I'm here to sell copies of Tailspire. I'm not here to run D&D.
It's great. Way better
Do you have
than
some stock we need to know about?
If they would let me participate in the company, I would have, but no, they won't let me. So perhaps I'm too crazy for
we'll
them.
build something bigger.
I am going to run up, grab the guy with some Apple Jacks
You're gonna do
and inflict wounds.
Oh, inflict wounds. Roll the hit.
How's a 21?
21 breaches. You place your hand out, say the code word Applejacks, and as you, that's some good
That's
damage.
a lot of damage.
Some good damage. The DM suddenly
That's a lot of
stops.
damage.
You deal 32 necrotic damage. The energy, just sort of this green lightning flashing through his body, rippling through his skin. You watch as the two hands that had already thrown the daggers sort of wither into these husk-like things, vestigial, as they flap harmlessly around his body. And he looks down with pain in his eyes. You can see like a little tears at the corner. But he's a manly man. He's gonna fight back against the tears. He struggles not to let you notice. What else would you like to do? You've clearly hurt him. He's clearly in pain. Half his body isn't working.
Ooh. I would also like to ask, did one of these guys have Hex?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's been a while since we've had this game, and I don't really know, but it does seem to me like something you would lead combat with, right? So,
Nope, hold on. I don't have Hex.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're playing
God.
Plague Doctor. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
We've spent too
Yeah,
much time
I just
in our
got really
off
excited
sessions
about
as
a
your
bonus
warlock.
action. Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay, we're going to the Drow Assassin. Sorry, go ahead, Solana.
I was just gonna ask, did the necrotic damage that looked like it fully took, not like any sort of like resistance to as far as we could see?
That's right. Doesn't seem as though he has
Okay.
any resistances to it at the present moment. The
Good to know.
the leader, the matron, the Drow Assassin, you have no idea what's going on with her. Last time we saw her, she had plunged down into the depths of whatever this strange amalgamation of water and froth and slimy gunk had been. She doesn't resurface. Good job, Ghroga. Pick her up and throw her off into the dangerous water. Solana, we do go back to you. Your move.
Okay. So, seeing as this guy seemed to really enjoy the necrotic damage he just
didn't
took, and
at all.
but he could enjoy it more. You know, we don't know. So I'm going to move just slightly, make sure I got plenty of range and can see him clearly. We're just gonna do a blight. You know.
Oh.
Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, just that. Mm-hmm.
Just that. So a Constitution save would be lovely.
Oh yeah,
If you'd
sure,
be so
sure.
kind.
Yeah. Blight, just a well-known first level spell with
Yes,
no
cantrip,
very
really.
little damage.
None.
Yeah. So his Constitution save there was a 14. He's got a 14 for Blight.
Needed a 16,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I'm very saddened to hear this. Clearly, just heartbroken.
Oh, I bet.
Really, I just needed to show up this 32 damage and just see what 8d8 does. That's so
I'm
satisfying hearing the click of the electronic dice. Ooh, just only slightly more. 34.
34. All right. The necrotic twins are at it here today. You go over around the corner, seeing this person there angry with how he had stabbed you. You reach forth with your hand, and actually, do you want to script how he dies? He's about to die. You want to script the death?
Oh, I would love to. I would love for there to be like some remnants of the necrosis from Pox's, and I just want to reach out and just say, you know, this is really nothing personal, but you just kind of were showboating a little too much with the knives, and it's just not my taste. So we're just gonna take care of this. I'm just gonna point and let like the beam of dark necrosis kind of condense from my darkened hands and shoot out towards him, and then just expand the necrosis that already started.
Oh.
So his like dark purple skin just goes totally black.
Lovely. His skin does completely blacken and wither like an apple you've left on your counter for 3 weeks overdue. And he just suddenly shrivels up into a little ball of death onto the ground and dies. Without a
I'm
single
just
word.
picturing
What else would you like
the
to do,
sword
Solana?
guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh.
Flight.
Exactly. 100%.
What else do you want to do, Solana?
Alright. I want to step about here and kind of shout out to the other guy. Hey, hoy! I just killed your buddy. Come here. This way. This way, target right here. Right, nice, big. Revenge is a great plot. Yeah, that'll be it.
The across the way as you scream and shout at him, he turns around, blade mid thrust into the dwarf. Is sort of red and sickly with his blood as it drips down onto the bridge, and he sort of like grunts. This one clearly less showy than the other one, and brutishly he's sort of like wipes the blade off on his thigh and prepares to charge. We got a Thumbclaw Big Axe, no longer Big Axe, just Thumbclaw. And Thumbclaw is going to move over here to where Ghroga's at. And then Ghroga, he's going to do something new. He's going to come over to where you are currently located. And how much health are you currently missing?
Well, with the lay on hands, I think I'm only 10
Yeah,
down.
you should be down not much.
Oh, 11 down, sorry.
He analyzes your wounds, seeing all the puncture marks around your armor, around the edges, sort of the damage you've sustained, and his chest opens up. He reaches inside, some of the gears, like one pops out, flies onto the ground adjacent to you, and he pulls out like half of a bottle of shattered health potion, and he goes to hand it to you and says, "Drink up. You are wounded. Do you wish to take it?"
I mean, does it look like a health potion?
It does. It looks like it's only half that's left, as it's been smashed, crashed, pieces of it broken, but some of the liquid is still in there, like in the round part of the bottle. That
It just has some glass in it. It'll be
yeah,
fine.
just some glass.
Some backwash. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yo. I'll thank him and like kind of point, like, go help them, and then I'm not going to. I'll be like, I'll just toss it back behind me.
All right. He'll use the other 5 feet of his movement to go closer towards them. Barrel is really smart. Barrel is perhaps the smartest of everyone in your group because Barrel does nothing. He pretends that he's a barrel. He does not get involved with the fight. Going back over towards the why is your name Drow? Your name should be Dwarf. This
I really thought we were about to get a big twist.
No, we go to the dwarf who is just sort of, you can hear him on the side going, you know, bloody in his throat and all that. Xanthar, go back to you.
I guess I'll move my spiritual weapon towards the drow and attack.
Sure, by all means, you can
Actually,
propel it forward.
Before I do that, I'm gonna guide and bolt the drow.
Sure. Go right ahead, fire it off. Give me that attack roll.
10. Jesus.
Unfortunately, a 10 does not breach. You raise up your hand to smite him with guiding energy, and as your radiance leaves your hand, a little bit of gunk was still on you from when you had just emerged, and instead you there's just this big sort of a screeching noise as you blast the last bit of gunk on your hand. You sort of look down, hold your weapon midair, and swing the spiritual weapon from afar.
Did he just miss the gutting bolt? I think that's Xanthar.
I'm gonna use my sword for his weapon.
Please do.
I wanted to. 16.
A 16 unfortunately does not breach either. As you go to slam the spiritual weapon into the guy, he lifts up his daggers, parries with it, and there's nothing for him to stab. But he does parry.
Yeah, well, that sucks. I'm done.
Would you like to stay standing on the ledge of the pit?
Oh. I guess I'll move a little bit. I'll end my turn.
Okay, you end your turn there, and we go to Ghroga. Ghroga, you've just now tossed the broken haft of the health potion away into the water. Thumbclaw Big Axe has gone past you over towards where Xanthar is currently at. This new majestic celestial being.
And this wall is still blocking me here, so I'm going to use my action
Sprint.
to move. Yep, sprint around that, giving it a wide berth, and then getting up in position here in front of my comrades.
Pox,
Hi.
Solana, you hear the
Hello.
thumping and clanking of armor on steel upon steel as Ghroga sprints by you. Anything else you
I
want to
think I know that sound from a mile away.
take that as a no? Nothing else you want to do?
Oh no, sorry, I didn't hear that. Nope, no, that's bonus actions are limited.
All right, we go back to the Drow Gladiator then, and he rushes forward about 20 feet, and then he is going to make an acrobatics check to swing along the edge of the bridge and launch himself past the wall towards Xanthar, which he does succeed on. And then, as he leaps down in front of Xanthar's face, wielding the daggers wide, or the short swords, he's just gonna do this whirlwind attack as all four of them start to try and slash into your body.
And he misses all 10 feet of the wall?
That's right. That's right. So what he's doing is if you can see on my tailspire, he's going from here.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's gonna
I thought it was like a whoo, not a whoo.
Nah.
That's real nice.
Yeah. He's
Style
gonna,
points.
Yeah, style.
You said this one wasn't flashy.
He's not. This is just a simple for him. This is a simple act of athletics. This is athleticism at its best. You know, you can put him in the Scottish Highland Games, throwing a tree. I mean, it's just impressive. That's all. It's not flashy. It's just impressive. Anyway, Xanthar, 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
You take 7 slashing damage as the second time he swings around with the next blade, and that one goes wide, arcs into the back behind where you are, and just sort of clatters down into the goop. The third swing, he's got a 15 to breach.
It's a miss.
And then for the fourth one, he's got an 18 to breach.
That's a hit.
You take another 7 slashing damage as his whirlwind of blades catches you 2 at a time, or 2 out of the 4, and you can feel like the rage, the anger in his body. He's then going to take out a little box item, and you see that's got this. It's like this glass cube, sort of this geometrical. Almost maybe looks like a Rubik's Cube, but instead of all these flashy lights along the edge of the Rubik's Cube, instead it's darkness. Black, unending, the void, and then he just crushes it, and you see this huge pool of darkness spew out forth from inside. Pox, we go to you.
That's bad.
It is bad. What do you want to do? A magical veil of a shroud of darkness has appeared on the field. Now, if you want, I know it could be really hard for you to walk around there. You could walk through the goop.
Well, he came back with wings. I'd do it.
True.
I don't know. I'm not convinced it's Xanthar yet. The hair. I never pictured Xanthar with hair. I can't. No.
You mean you never pictured a robot with hair? What?
No, I know. Shocking. Really.
Listen, that sounds like you're just prejudiced against the robots that we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy, who naturally had half of their hair or heads with hair. Lovely purple color, right? Was it white?
It's a microaggression of mine. I'm aware. Yeah, it's a problem.
Oh, how
I've done so many of those modules this week.
Oh, I thought you were watching South Park. It's microaggression, bro.
I mean, I did binge all of South Park and I've seen every episode now, but...
PC principle.
I would like to argue that I could run straight. Because I can see where the bridge comes out on the other side.
I mean, yeah, you could. You could run straight through the darkness. That's fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's you could be like a child going and like running through, but it doesn't change what was there before. Darkness doesn't change.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're cool. You
just wanted to make sure. Yes, yeah.
I mean,
then I'm just gonna
that first step.
Yeah, you got memory. You got it.
Yeah, cool.
Easiest argument I've ever had.
I don't accept this answer. Listen, that's my turn.
Okay. You sprint forward onto the edge of the bridge. You do not. Yes, sorry.
Now that you said sprint, yeah, no, I can definitely sprint.
Yeah, you can dash.
I'm gonna dash, duh.
Can you healing word the dwarf at all?
You dash across.
About that.
Go ahead.
I don't have healing word.
Gotcha. Good to know.
As you dash across into the darkness, you feel a rush from this veil, almost as though spirits are crying out for you. You can hear this strange noise echoing inside of the darkness. It's clearly not the normal darkness spell. As you go into it and out of it, you almost feel as though something is trying to reach inside of you. But nevertheless, you make your way out onto the other side, and as you go to cross this bridge, you can feel it crumbling underneath you. Remember that sense that I talked about earlier, that sixth sense that humans have? This sixth sense gives you a bad impression about this bridge. You feel as though if there's too much weight on here at once, the whole thing might collapse. And you can just feel the wood of the thing just sort of underneath. Give you the impression that the pewter that's underneath your feet over top of the wood is likely not helping the scenario. Even that pewter might be a little bit too much weight. And as you go towards the very end of the bridge, you can see pools of blood slick around the dwarf's body as he sits there weakly with one hand still slightly moving, trying to grasp onto the meat cleaver that was his weapon. And that's you. You notice, you also notice, well, maybe you don't. No, I guess nothing else is noticed. But anyway, the Drow Assassin does Drow Assassin things. And Solana, we go to you. Your friend rushes forth into the darkness, crosses the bridge of death. Does not say that.
So I don't super like this darkness. It sounds like it's making things just a little more difficult than we need it to be, and I don't know what's going on with this angel dude yet, but like he did bless me, so
that's true.
I guess I'll do this. I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic focusing on the darkness.
Well, isn't that rude? What level would you like to cast Dispel Magic at?
3rd level.
Okay, 1 sec. As you reach out with Dispel Magic, and you feel the fabric of reality sort of beginning to mold to your desires, the fabric of magic that interweaves through all of the matter of the universe, you can feel the darkness itself reaching out angrily as you begin to dispel it. You feel like a fizzling sort of a noise as it winks in and out of existence, and as it begins winking on you, you see an impression of the Drow matron, like spirit walking through the darkness. Like you see her blinking up to the edge, then blinking through the wall. Finally, as you dispel it, you see her oh, that's the wrong thing. You see her standing over top of the gunk. She's just kneeling down over the thing, placing her fingers nearly upon the stuff. And she looks up at you. You can see this, like, her eyes, which should be bloodshot red. Well, I guess there's a wall blocking, so you can't see her anymore. Yeah, she's just gone. But for the other people, for Xanthar, oh no, no one can see her. No one knows she's here. You just lastly watch her spirit walk through the wall. How about that? Anyway, still your turn.
Great.
So she
I mean, I
went
don't
from
see
the water
her.
through the dark.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just move up to about here, I think, because she feels a little bit protected with like this wall here, the other gunk, and just knowing Joss on the other side, so she's gonna hang out there. That'll end my turn.
All right. We go to Thumbclaw Big Axe, who is going to rush forward towards the last Drow gladiator, and he takes a big mighty fist and just sort of boosh slams it into the face of the Drow, which like his mask cracks and falls off the one side. You can see ashen, blackened skin underneath, pre-blighted skin, mind you. And he takes his other fist and just sort of does this, and then slams it into the side of his chest or his waist. Gets in there and try and liver punch him. And as that rocket fist comes around, the Drow sort of goes, sways to the side slightly, but continues his fighting stance. Barrel, on the other hand, is going to keep playing barrel. Dwarf is going to call out towards Pox and says, "Hey, can you please help me? I'm dying here. God."
He can talk, he's conscious, so.
He is conscious. Xanthar, we go to you.
God. Alright. So who's close to me here? I can't see the matron?
She is behind a pillar behind your back. So unfortunately,
I have no idea that
yeah. Nobody knows other than from my
the other
script.
Drow's close to me though?
Yes, he's right in front of your face.
Alright.
He looks fairly bloodied now from the attacks from Thumbclaw, though.
I'll toll the dead.
Very well. Let me make
Wisdom
my saving
16.
throw. He gets, unfortunately, a Wisdom 20, non-natural. As he succeeds from the Toll the Dead, your bonging noise rings out, and as the darkness is fading away, it seems to fade almost into his body. You can see this wisping of darkness along the edge, sort of like dry ice, and he just sort of seems to enjoy the sound of that sonorous tone more than anything.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna healing word the dwarf.
Is
and then
the dwarf
when I
within
do that,
range? I think so, certainly. What's the healing word of the day?
when I do that, he gets an attack of opportunity from my voice of authority.
Well, he ain't gonna make one.
What's that?
I said the dwarf ain't gonna make one. But what's your healing word of the day? And can you roll that for me? I mean, he can make an attack of opportunity, but only against Pox.
Get back up and help us.
All right, roll healing.
Shit. 3.
You grant him just enough energy, and as he, you see that healing word, get back up and help us, flow through his body, sealing just some of the most grievous of wounds, right around the edge of his leg, and one like was this big tear across where his heart is at. He just sort of goes, I can't believe I think I'm gonna live, but I'm not getting up. And he just places his head back down onto the ground. Goosh. What else would you like to do?
I am an amazing doctor.
So you said that thing was pretty fragile, that bridge.
Yes, that bridge is pretty fragile.
I used both my actions. I probably just end my turn.
All right, you end your turn in Ghroga. Now that you've taken your time to sprint all the way onto the other side, and I've placed the enemies back where you previously were, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I think I have to run back across the other way.
Ghroga, stop!
You made the...
Oh wait, yeah. Go there.
Would I
Yeah.
see
Now keep
her?
going. Okay, stop right there. As soon as you get there, right around the corner of the pillar, you see the Drow matron stand there, kneeling down over top of the goop, her hand nearly touching with it as she raises some of it upwards. You can see that much of her body is blackened and bruised. You can see blood flowing down from open wounds all across from where the rocks and the terrible current underneath where you had thrown her was like a meat grinder, right? And her body, as destroyed and torn up as it is, you can see this like shell of what her skin once was, almost like this porcelain doll that has been cracked forth. And beneath you can see this shadowy darkness within where her eye once was, the like deep reddish eyes of the drow instead holds within it this just empty black sockets as though somebody already dead. You can see beneath her some of her bone exposed seems to gleam like metal, almost like adamantium that's inside of where the inner skeleton is at. And when she looks up at you, she like spews forth a little bit of like sewer water spews out, but with it comes fire that burns along the edge of the gunk. And she is like tightens her grip, what's left of that metallic skeleton of a hand left on one of her shadowy blades as she sees you and feels vengeance within her soul. What else would you like to do?
Chuck, you're not looking so good. I'll yell out to the group. That matron is over here on the other side of the wall. I'll come around the side so she can't see me. Presumably, she'll come after me, but I want to keep line of sight here, so she has to come over to me if she wants to.
I understand. You want to play ball. You're gonna have to play in my court.
Yeah.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. We go to the Drow Gladiator in that case. We've got Xanthar. We've got a few more strikes coming for you. Are you ready? He's muted. Okay, he's good. We got a thumbs up. We got a 25 to breach.
That's a hit.
We got an 11 to breach.
That's a miss.
We've got a 15 to breach.
Miss.
And a 14 to breach.
Miss.
Very nice for you. He only does 7 slashing damage as the whirlwind of blades comes once again. He sort of grunts as he digs into your flesh, looks over towards Thumbclaw Big Axe. You can tell that he's feeling as though this may not have been the most successful venture. And he just sort of like grabs onto the mechanical creature and then and tries to lift him into the water, but alas, he is not strong enough. And the robot does not move whatsoever in the slightest. Pox, we go to you. You wonderful, amazing doctor. What can heal a man just by looking at them?
What I will be. Well, now that you're better, let me. Oh. Looks like you can use some help.
Oh, you're gonna
Grab.
use your favorite.
Spin. Inflict wounds.
What do you know? Another inflict wound. Brad, have you noticed that all of Josh's characters are super predictable? Hex, Eldritch Blast. Oh, I'm gonna run up and hit necrotic.
Hey, I thought about mixing it up, but I was like, they're right there. I might as well do it.
I'm just being playful. You've done actually a lot of different things. You've done a lot of different things.
Well, don't count that yet. It is 27, but I gotta roll to hit first.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, 26. I'm gonna guess that hits.
Well, hold on. You might still miss. Roll with advantage because you're flanking.
All right, yeah, still the 26.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that hits.
26 to hit, 27 necrotic damage.
Well, you almost had it evenly matched. You almost did.
Almost.
You reach a hand out, and as the necrotic energy surges forth into his backside, just like the first one, his limbs begin to die off. The strange, like dry ice melting stuff into the air suddenly lashes backwards, with like some act of retribution, and the drow there just sort of barely, fragilely stands on one singular leg left. He, like almost laying on the ground, turns around to face you, to face his enemy, and spits at your feet. His last dying breaths.
I'd really like to kick him as a bonus action, but I know I can't. Just like, kick his shin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be it for me.
We go to the drow assassin, the matron. She slowly rises, makes her way over towards the side, sees mighty Xanthar with his big celestial wings and the glorious armor, the flowing hair, and she just can't help but be attracted by what she sees. She wants a piece of him, or maybe she wants all of him, and that studly, handsome face of his. She calls out to you very weakly and says, "You, what are you?" Do you reply, Xanthar?
You're muted.
You're muted, Xanthar.
I have no idea.
She, you can see her grip tense a little bit, and she says, "Of course you know what you are. How? What happened? Where did you come from? Did this?" And she turns around, like gestures with a flick of a knife towards the goop at the center.
Lady, what happened to you?
Rocks.
My good lady, you've seen some finer days.
Well, seeing as no one will particularly reply, or Xanthar won't, but Pox, you will, she's gonna look over to where you're at, like this horrid stench makes its way out of her mouth, the spewing of fire and pestilence, and as it spews forth, it echoes and gets wider and wider, and I do mean echoes as in it like repeats itself, going forward wave by wave at a time, and I need everyone within a 30-foot cone of her as she spews that strange corrupted breath. I need all of you to make me Constitution saving throws.
Does that include your own guy?
Hell yeah, it does.
She's a woman after my own heart, you know. Collateral damage, it happens.
You wouldn't happen to be ready
20.
to cast any kind of fireballs lately, would you?
I mean, you never
Natural
know.
20 plus 4.
Ooh.
Is that a nat
Finally.
20? Is that a nat 20 right there? Is that what I see? That's incredible. What do you want? Personal or group success, Xanthar?
Group success.
Sure, very well. What is everybody else doing? What is your saving throws? Pox? Most of
You
them
have
It
a
is
bless
a
too.
14.
With bless.
Ah.
You roll that extra
There's
d4.
my die. There it is. Boop. That's a 16.
Hey, what do you know? This 16 is good. As that strange flaming pestilence breath spews across the room or the floor, Xanthar the White presents his big old mace up. This radiant light shines out from his feathers, his wings. This guarding wall appears, and suddenly the breath weapon doesn't even seem to go past his body. It just hangs there for a few moments, just this haze like fog spewing out in front of the area. And then the light shines through it all the way out to where she's at. And as the light smashes into her body, you watch as she tumbles backwards and plummets into the goop.
Ooh.
Not back this time.
Her turn is over, and Solana, we go to you.
She's gonna
You hear
come
the
back
sound of goop moving upwards.
Okay. Her falling
I
in
would
is-
just like to say, if a nat 1 turns Xanthar into that, I'm scared of what this nat 20 is gonna do to her. Anybody else concerned here? Anybody? No, just me.
It's gonna be a demon.
Okay, I'm going to stand over here so I can kind of see.
When you arrive going around the corner, you arrive just in time to see one metallic bony hand, just slight bits of skin plummeting down into the goop. Like the very edge
Metallic
of her cape flowing down into the stuff. There's like a slight little like mixture of black, almost like an ink cloud from an octopus.
Yeah.
So when Xanthar fell in and this angel guy came out, it was only one round, right? Didn't have to stew for longer?
Well,
Okay.
It might have been for longer, excepting, of course, that in D&D 5e, keeping a player out of combat for like a few hours or a day or something like that is a really shitty decision for the player's experience.
Yeah.
So it's gonna happen in a round because I'm not an asshole.
I appreciate that. I do. So
Well, at least not about
with
this.
the thought,
Yeah, DM, I'm
Yeah.
gonna need you to roll deception.
I rolled 11.
All right. I'm going to then hold my action and prepare a second level chromatic orb fire style for if the moment that I see a creature rise up out of the goop.
Sure. Well done. We will do that. In that case, we'll go to Thumbclaw Big Axe. And Thumbclaw looks down at the drow in his last dying breaths. The drow looks up at Xanthar with a look of awe on his face, nearing adoration, perhaps even potential worship, as this light shines out and defeats whatever magic that his mistress has just used. And in those moments, he looking up at Xanthar says, for the first time, like saying, what you've done was impossible. This power you hold, I will follow you to the ends of the great subjacent itself. Perhaps you can stand against it, stand against the monstrosity. Maybe with your powers, we could take back our home. And as he's giving this speech, he says, "Please allow me to." Thumbclaw Big Axe takes his big mighty fist and just raises it up in the air and goes squish, and shattering the skull, spraying the brains all over the ground, and just and just completely thrashes and tears apart the Drow's body.
Everyone saw that wasn't me this time, right?
And my friend's comment is over. What would you like to do?
Oh,
Search
God.
the bodies.
Search you. Who are you?
Yes.
No
That's a
idea.
good question.
I'm going to lower the wall of corpses.
Very well. You lower said wall, and the stream of pink goop will disappear.
I think I'm going to inspect Xanthar, or well, the artist formerly known as Xanthar. But I'm going to cast detect evil.
You walk
Gosh,
over to
I'll
speak with him,
detect-
and Thumbclaw is still still pounding into the body.
You could probably stop there, Thumbclaw. I'll cast detect evil and good. I'll have to upcast it though.
Sure.
I'd like to see if he's a celestial, aberration, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
As you cast this, first and foremost, Xanthar, you may tell them if your alignment has changed, if it remains the same.
I believe it's chaotic. Hold on, let me check something quick. Chaotic good.
And you do sense a presence of the extra planar within his body. You can sense that there is a divine nature to his soul. You actually feel a resonant. There's some sort of a resonance with his soul and your own. Something that you've only felt in other followers of Gerda the Pale. You feel his soul like a mirror reflecting yours back to you. And you know him as brother in this way.
This is
Really?
perplexing.
I'll put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Welcome, welcome, brother." Does it feel like Xanthar though still, or I mean, do I have any?
Yes, are you Xanthar?
No idea. I don't remember anything before this.
Do you
When you were
remember us?
You seem familiar, but I don't remember.
When you were down there, did you see like a robot kind of guy? He's like this tall, like shiny armor. Weirdly talked about his balls, like shockingly. I mean, not like a crazy amount, but like more times than you would expect a robot to talk about. But
Yes,
did you
that's a
see him?
follow-up question.
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
balls now.
I'm glad you asked. I was wondering, but I didn't want to be like the one to lead with it. So thank you.
I really must study you. I'm very curious if you truly are Xanthar, going from your Warforged form to this one of flesh. I need to do some examination, if you don't mind, for science.
Hi, I know you've just started existing. Can I check your balls and maybe cut them off? First question.
I'll leave the balls intact. Maybe just a little incision here or there. I just want to see what your insides look like. If
Don't
you
accept
are
you for
Warforged at your core.
You're a very different type of doctor, sir.
Normally people say, "Hi, I'm Pox. Where do you come from?" But no. Pox says, "Hey, let me play with your balls. Maybe mix them around the insides, Let me get in there."
I never said I was inefficient. I would, just want to make sure for science that this is our Xanthar, and perhaps by knowing if he carries any of his previous form inside of him, maybe we could help restore his memory.
I mean, I have another thought that involves less cutting. It doesn't check his insight, but I think it could at least confirm that there is some sort of lineage between these two people. We are all good putting our scissors away? Okay, for the moment? Okay. I'm going to cast Locate Object, focusing on Xanthar's plate armor.
Oh, nice. As you, Xanthar will be very quick to remind you that he does not yet have plate mail.
Oh, sorry. Not plate armor. His armor.
Yes.
His pseudo-looking like armor.
As you send the sensor out, this divination magic, these seeker swarms just fire off in all directions, and one of them immediately, like snapping, comes right back to you, and it seems as though you're looking at it.
So either they swapped armor in there, or this man is wearing Xanthar's armor. Do you have a name, sir? I'm sorry, we keep assuming that you're called Xanthar, but it sounds like you might not be. Do you have a different... Could you please put the scissors down? It's really distracting. Like, at the very least, we need a name to fill in the paperwork, okay? That's like step one here before you jump into the OR, okay? I get it, you're excited, I know the type, but focus. Name?
I don't remember who I am, but you seem familiar. All of you.
Do you know this person? And I would take off my mask and change my face to Xanthar, Warforged face.
Let me get this straight. You want your biological face to become a metal face.
Just the outer look of it.
Like the contoured edges. This has got to
Yes.
be the creepiest, most horrific thing. This is like out of a horror show, because the Warforged is just like flat plate, right? So for you, this is like skin that is just like, you know, like you'd be looking at a wall of skin, but like slick and like shiny, maybe rubbery. I mean, it almost look like what's that? Like that putty, the silly putty. You're basically
Silly putty,
silly putty face.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you can do that. It's horrific.
Are there mirrors in Sigil?
Yes, there are mirrors in Sigil. There's a goddess of mirrors. Her name is Ghroga the Pale. as fate would have it.
Yes.
Seems familiar.
This character.
Yeah.
This person. Have you seen them?
It's just something.
Also, where
reminds
did
me
he
of
go?
I don't know.
Where did Ghroga go?
He's gone. I think his internet probably died.
Sure.
Give him a couple minutes. He'll be back.
Do we
Yes,
also
this
want to
face.
address the dwarf too? Just as a...
He can wait.
Oh yeah, dwarf.
He's stable.
I just don't want him walking out the door and walking away. Sir, that bridge is a little weak, so if you need to rest, I promise we won't kill you. We're not bad people. Since, you know, like, enemy of my enemy is my friend, so we'll be all nice, but I want you off that bridge before it collapses, and I don't want to walk over and then make it collapse. So if you could come over here, that would be swell.
Sword off! I'm not moving. I'm staying right here.
Okay.
See, he's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel
he's
like we
fine.
should
Okay.
search these bodies for plate mail.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's
no, I'm
Xanthar.
convinced this is Xanthar.
Yeah, you're right, it is. It really is. Okay.
He might not know that he's Xanthar, but
Just an urge.
I've got some intuition.
Do you feel like I would fireball you? Like, not directly, but like indirectly. Do you get that sense at all? Is that anything that...
That would be a dick move.
I've never done it before, so I haven't. I just was curious, and maybe you like felt such. Okay.
To be fair, I feel like most people would call that a dick move, Solana.
This is true. That's why I'll never do it. So that's, you know.
Interesting.
Should we introduce ourselves again, Ish? Do you know our names at all? Do you want us to call you Xanthar still, if that was originally... Should we explain what happened? Okay, so you were trying to jump over the goo, and you didn't, and you kind of, like, fell into it, like, in a very bad way.
Fell into it by
Yeah.
rolling a 1.
Yeah, I think you tripped on something that was, like, one in shape, like it was like shaped like the number one. And so you like kind of fell in. You were a robot before.
As he moves over to talk to you, and like you watch as this big, magnificent wing just sort of ruffles against the back of Ghroga's armor, his head, and just completely blocks Ghroga from the conversation.
A little rude. Oh, but maybe you're not used to having those. So you have wings now. I don't know if you're aware that they're there, but they are there. Ghroga, are you?
He dips out from underneath the wing and joins the conversation.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
More chips.
But yeah, should we introduce ourselves or?
Sure. Well, as of yesterday, I've come to acquaint myself with you all. It seems that you have been traveling together for some period of time before. Yes, that is Ghroga over there, a follower of Ghroga the Pale. This is Solana here. Not a witch.
Thank you.
I am Pox.
Thank you.
I am Pox, and here we are.
Oh, and this is Thumbclaw.
As you say that,
oh yes,
you say everyone's names. Thumbclaw Big Axe just sort of goes, and then Solana says, "Oh, this is Thumbclaw," and he goes, and like, and he just sort of like holds himself proudly.
Apologies, Thumbclaw. I thought you were still occupied smashing things.
He used to be called Thumbclaw Big Axe, but then we lost his big axe, so I think he's just Thumbclaw now.
I like
Yeah,
your
that
claw.
felt like Yeah, that felt important to share first, right? Like that's a top priority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We also have a thing in a barrel over there. Don't be alarmed. It's
just a barrel. It's just don't worry, Thumbclaw. It's just a barrel.
No, he's supposed to protect the contents of the barrel.
As you turn around and point towards the barrel, you notice from afar that the barrel has rolled and sort of like shuffled over to one of the contraptions for this big, magnificent machine that you're looking at. It's just right at the edge of where this huge pylon of purple arcane crystal has energy just sort of like being absorbed upwards into this projector of this projector cannon of some kind, and like a little hand is making its way out towards the lip of the switch and just sort of
barrel, no, down, drop it.
He's like,
good boy.
Little barrel lid slides back down.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. He's not very well trained yet. We're working on it. It's new. He was a rescue. So sorry. I'll go over to him and like drag him over with us so he's near us and not doing something.
You're gonna drag the barrel, just like
yes, with my very strong arms.
It's very slow going, but eventually you pull the barrel with you over towards the rest of the group. There's slight resistance as the thing inside just goes communicating to you. No, I want it.
What is it?
I look over and point at the barrel and say, "What's in the barrel?"
Thumbclaw, could you turn around and watch the bridge for us? Stay very focused on the bridge.
Thumbclaw, naturally, as he is a very good listener, will go off towards the edge of the bridge and look directly down at it.
Perfect.
You notice, however, as he steps onto the bridge, that like some of it cracks some pieces shift, and a little bit more of the bridge like collides off into the water.
Actually, Thumbclaw, can you watch the bridge from the steps before the bridge? Like, not directly on the bridge? That was my fault. Poor communication on my end. Thank you. Thank you. It's fine now, right?
Yes, I have an idea. Perhaps Beryl could peer into his mind.
Oh, into the dwarf's mind?
No,
Or
into New Xanthar.
Oh. I mean, that would help. We should probably ask permission, right? I'm trying to teach Beryl...
It's either the Nothic or the
respect.
scissors. You get to choose.
Okay, so the Nothic is just gonna, like, take a little peek-see in your mind, and it's fine. It's just, he's just a little curious.
What's the Nothic?
Beryl, could you, no one's gonna attack you, but could you come say hi?
The little lid of the barrel just sort of as this little the top of this, well, actually quite large, greenish eye, sort of alien, looks over and peers at Xanthar. Xanthar, I am immediately gonna try and dig through your mind to find some secrets. Would you like to make your saving throw?
What was wisdom?
Yes. Wisdom or charisma?
13.
Congratulations, my friend. You have magically succeeded on your saving throw, and so the beast does not get to learn anything new of you. But you can hear an angry sort of a noise, and the barrel lid slides back down.
I'm guessing he was unsuccessful. He looks a little irritated. Usually when he gets his secrets, he's kind of more of like a jumping up and down, kind of excited.
Indeed. You continue with this bit. I need to study this scoop.
Come
over here to what's remaining over here.
Yeah! What do you want to do with the goop?
I want to check the bodies for plate mail.
Sure. Go ahead, Xanthar. Go ahead and make me a investigation check on the bodies.
Investigation.
Pox, what do you want to do?
All right. Well,
I would like to cut off some of it and store it.
Sure. By all means, go ahead and give me a for you. Give me an Arcana.
21 with guidance.
Ghroga
medicine, Dex.
I mean, you could do sleight of hand too, I guess.
I'll go with Arcana if you want.
Yeah. And then Solana and Ghroga, any checks you'd like to make while I'm going around the table?
I'm going to turn to the Nothic and say, I'll give you another secret if you tell me what exactly this machine does.
The Nothic naturally, obviously agrees to that. Communicates in your mind, this is an incredible deal, and awaits for you to tell it yet another secret.
Okay. Oh gosh, I need to come up with more.
Like a fiend, like he's fiending for this addiction. He just can't get enough of it. You barely get the words out of your mouth before he already says yes. Ghroga, what did you want to do?
I mean, I'll look at the bodies here with the it's Cleric, formerly known as Xanthar.
Yes. The not Cleric, not Xanthar. Very well, then you can have advantage on your investigation check. Going first with the Arcana, as I wait for the advantage, you can roll the investigation a second time, take the higher of the two totals. Pox, you easily are able to take a shred of this stuff, sort of like when you try to cut it at first and study the thing, it doesn't seem to cut. It just sort of like like a slimy ooze type thing, just sort of like rebounds. It's rubbery. It sort of pushes back against this whatever implements you're using, and then just sort of like wiggles out. And on your second attempts to try and store some of it, you reach out with your mind and sort of tell the goop to separate. And you feel this arcane pressure building in your mind as the goop seemingly starts to respond to you. And you feel for an instant, the goop simply is seemingly saying in your mind something like, "One of us, one of us, one of us."
You're cutting out.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I just
One of us. One of us.
Yeah, as some of it just sort of slides into your flask.
Now with that stored, can I, or from the Arcana / or should I make another roll? Can I ascertain exactly the composition of this?
You can make an Arcana, a History, yeah, that's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough thing to do. Good luck, sir. Yeah, you will try.
Medicine.
Yeah, sure. You can take a medicine. That's I'll see that in order. I can see a medicine. The investigation check. I still haven't received your other one, so I'll just take the 18. When you're looking through these bodies, you unfortunately do not find plate mail inside of them. You find that they're using some very tough, like these breastplates that they were wearing, as well as some of this like armed splints that help them to parry off attacks. That increases their armor class just because of how dexterous they are. They've got a high dexterity score. And you do find these daggers that have this infernal script on it that used to be drow daggers. It's obvious to anyone who's been in the Great Subjacent for any length of time, but perhaps not you, that this script is not usually on drow weapons. So it looks like very elven, very nice, sort of nice curves and flow to it, but then this harsh script that is in like very rigid, ragged cuts into the metal. Looks as though it was almost brutally stamped into the thing, as opposed to crafted with love or care or precision. Some of them are like at odd angles on the edges of the blade, and the armor has inside of it that same script, not on the outside but on the inside of the thing. You can definitely tell that this stuff is cursed.
Cursed?
Yes, it's definitely got an infernal curse on it of some kind.
If I pick them up and take them, but don't attune or wear them, is that...
You know what the fun thing about D&D is? You don't really know, but you can do it.
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Very well, you do not.
I could probably, if you bring it to the wizard, I might be able to try to get more info on that, possibly.
Curse?
Not necessarily remove curse, but if I do identify, I might learn more about the rules of it, potentially.
While y'all are investigating and doing your said thing, Solana, you ask Beryl, like, what this place is, and the psionic speech comes to you, and you hear the note that, or you hear Beryl saying to you, this was, well, actually, he sends you images, mental projections of several wizards arrayed around this place. 4 of them, one at each pylon, flipping levers all at once in unison. Energy sort of charging into the base of these structures, these cannon, and then you watch as creatures appear, led by chains by other wizards, carrying forth, and these like brutish war machines, much like Thumbclaw you see here. You see in your mind an image of creatures like people, like normal people from the Verdot estate, being dragged down. You're screaming for their lives as they're thrown towards the gunk. You see their bodies morphing and changing, becoming other things. In this moment, when Beryl gets to describe that, you see the image flashing into like a mammoth, flashing flashing again into this large snake, flashing again into these multi-limbed forms. All kinds of stuff you see in the blink of an eye, just sort of like hundreds of different forms drawing forth from whatever is inside of the gunk. But you also see some of these people being dragged in chains across the bridge towards the other doorway, the big gigantic gate. You can see the wizards using their magic and pulling various levers against the adjacent to the sides of the gates to make them open, and then inside seems dark and shrouded, but you can see infernal script nailed into the walls, this glowing evil red text. And at the core of this room, it's sort of this long rectangular thing, you see a singular table of slate with chains dragged off the sides, people thrown onto them, exposed to this strange sound of the ocean's roaring, this tide out into the distance. And then you see these people shot with a beam of energy, and in the flash of an instant, their bodies expand and growing, chitin filling along the edges, squid-like of apparatus pouring out as they become Ulchiore.
We really suck, you know? It feels like every time you learn about something bad, it's like we caused it, you know? It's like we were like the worst things to happen to this planet. God damn it. I tried my best to relay all this information to the rest of the group. As best as I can summarize.
You continue relaying this to the rest of the group. Beryl is intently waiting on your secret, I'll have you know.
I sent it in the group chat. I sent it directly to you,
see.
so it should be there.
Got you.
Hopefully.
Got you. No, it's cool.
Yes.
I'll check in a moment. You begin relaying this to your team as we have the medicine check, and Pox, as she's beginning to relay this to the team, you look down at the stuff in the flask, and you can't quite make up its medical combination, like whatever is in this. It seems beyond your advanced learning. But the closest thing you have that you've seen before is, like, you can see the liquid in the flask seeming to like gray out, become this strange, almost like the consistency of seagull poop. This little whitish, crackly, sort of goopy mixture as it fades and dies in the flask, and just seemingly stops. The closest thing you have to understanding the molecular makeup is like volcanic ash after it's been, all of the energy has expired, has been expended inside of it, and the molecules have just broken down into barely surviving remnants of whatever it once was.
I'd like to cast Revivify.
You cast Revivify into the flask, and when you do so, the gunk life begins to return to it. The whitish ash begins to like almost like flubber. It sort of like begins extending and breaking out of the. Oh my god, I'm so dated. Flubber's not a thing that's new anymore. That's like super old.
It's a good bit old now.
Sorry. Anyway, as the gunk like spits out and spews forth from the white ash in between, like the pinkish coloration returns to it. The life begins to move around. It like does this a few little twitches against the edge of the glass, and then begins to fade and become white and ashen again. But for an instant, for a moment, you've brought it back to life.
Yeah, I really want to cut off a piece of your body. I need to know for science. Just a little incision. I need to know what your skeleton looks like. This is more important to me than you know.
I think I'm okay with that.
Just a cut.
is this so important to you?
For the sake of science.
Insight.
So long as you accept this PvP, you may roll deception. He has rolled deception, thus giving his consent.
Okay, that's an accept.
25
Okay,
is
okay.
Pretty strong.
Ooh. Oh, it was on the 20 and they rolled to an 8. Oh, no.
Man,
Seems he wants it for science.
I need to do this for science.
You
For the
look-
greater good of life.
AA says it's for the greater good of life, and you can't help but look at that silly putty Warforged face. It's completely devoid of any emotion, any mouth, any nasal structure, anything that would give you a hint, a sign of life. And you know that this guy has seen some shit. He's seen the difference between life and death, and he needs to know what side of it Xanthar's walking on. Or so help him God, he will become an even scarier, more horrific being with that awful, flat, fleshy face of his. And he puts on his mask.
Okay, thank God.
Can I use a perception check or an insight check?
Yeah, you can do an inside check too. Against the same 25.
25.
Yeah, he's got a deception 25. Good luck.
Can I guidance myself?
Hell yeah, you can. What are your guiding words? And by the way, you do, because you're using guidance, Pox, you do watch as he basically says, like, reveal your secrets. And then insight checks you, like, gives you the once over.
I hope you're not lying.
It is for greater life.
I mean, I do believe him.
And 17.
No dice. You look at that masked face and you can't see any emotion in it because it's it's masked. Doesn't reveal any information.
Well, do you need any help then with this? Should we like hold him down? Do you need like I've never assisted with a surgical procedure before, but I feel like normally multiple hands, so like what do you need?
Just make sure he's comfortable. I can numb the area. I'm going to use this kit and just make a small incision. See what I can find right there.
I just guide Xanthar to sit down, like just kind of like push on the shoulders, like okay.
I don't think I really want to be cut open, so.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just hold him down.
You are well within your rights to declare this as a PvP action. We will not perform surgery on you. I feel like that's a pretty, normal thing that to be like, yeah, you can't perform surgery on your friends, right? I mean, I don't know about Brad. Do you perform surgery on your friends?
It depends. Have I known him for over 24 hours?
That's true.
That's the cutoff
I
here.
feel like I
So
would defend myself in this if it was a PvP.
Very well. I think that's Xanthar has given you he would not like to be cut open, and thus, via the rules of PvP, I will not allow you to cut open Xanthar's character.
What if
I'll
you
help him
cut
back up.
yourself open? Just a tiny bit, like on your arm or something.
Let's circle back to this later. I get that this is important for scientific discovery, but like this is kind of he's had a lot today. I don't think he wants to be overwhelmed. Do you want like a piece of his hair? Would that help? No, we don't want to lose the hair. No, never mind.
my
I
hair
take
is-
that back.
My hair is far too beautiful.
Yeah, no,
I
I
agree.
don't care
That's
about
fair.
the hair. I care what's on the inside. I need to
Aw.
know if he's still a Warforged on the inside.
You do believe that without making an incision, sort of seeing the humanity in front of you, or the biological bits of it, you realize that you could probably glean whether or not he was sentient or human or a living biological creature instead of a Warforged. If you had like a stool sample, or maybe like a few drops of waste that could come from his frontal section.
I take a shit in his hand.
Yeah, you could take a shit in his hand.
When you said waste from the front,
The closest you're gonna get.
Please elaborate.
Got a bottle? I need you to go around that pillar.
It's an old Gatorade bottle, but you'll be fine.
Or even a drop of blood. I can do it that way. Do you bleed?
Do you bleed?
No, that's his line.
Just,
He
something
did get
simple.
slashed before. Did we see like some of his slash injuries from the drought?
Yeah, he's got some.
Oh yes, let me treat
blood.
that for you.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
Here's some bandages. I'd like to get out a medical kit and treat his wounds, while also, keeping
sure I
some of
trust
the
this
bloody
guy.
bandages.
Xanthar, will you allow him to bandage you up?
Will I allow him to what?
Bandage you up? Will you allow him to dress your wounds?
I'll leave the cutting utensils over there.
How are you gonna cut the bandage?
He can have some blood.
Yeah.
He can have some blood if he
I'll
wants.
rip
He's not
it.
cutting me open.
Oh, good,
Okay,
good. Yeah, no, I'll take the blood that's already there.
Very well.
And I'll just,
if you wish,
I can stitch.
you may expend a use of a healer's kit, as though with the healer feat.
Yes. Let us do.
As you patch him up, bandage him, and take away some of take up some of that blood from the bloody bandages, and it does appear as though he bleeds. A little bit of a glisten to his blood. It's shiny blood. It
Now
smells
can
like
I
sugar.
ascertain from these fluids
Yeah.
My poop smells like
Any
cinnamon rolls.
metallic or oil or whatever Warforged stuff was in there?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead and make me an insight check,
Well-
or a medicine check, or a arcana check, or a
Or just if it's fully not Warforged, like human.
yeah.
You said what? What roll?
Arcana, medicine, survival, nature.
Fuck you, D&D Beyond. That was almost a nat 30.
Oh, that would get you past
It hit and it
impossible check.
bounced. Yeah,
well,
I'm... Wait, do I have a...
Inspiration.
Inspiration? I don't think I do.
let me double check whether you've got. We've got Solana at 3, Ghroga at 0, Xanthar at 0, Pox at 0. Y'all have spent them.
Very well. What do I glean from a 12, DM?
You see that what you hold in front of you is angelic blood. It's got a little shiny glisten to it. You can tell that there's like a faint aroma of like candy that comes from the blood. Something that's very, very sweet and sugary, maybe like maple syrup sap. And it doesn't appear to have like any immediate like steel, iron. I mean, it's got normal levels of iron in it. Probably.
Normal amounts of iron.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any blood, blood. It doesn't seem as though there's any oil in the blood. Like, seems like normal Azamar blood. No sign
Very
of
well.
Warforged here.
Well, then, that works for me. I'll move back over here. Continue, talk to the dwarf, I don't know. Interesting.
Okay. Dwarf, man, okay, I know you're so tired, but if you come over here, I might be able to help cure you. And I don't want you sitting on the collapsed bridge. I don't want to walk over there and make it collapse and kill us both, so I need you to walk towards me so I can make you feel better.
Lady, I don't know if you saw this, but I was just being attacked by a drow with a whole bunch of weapons. I think your skinny little ass is gonna be just fine coming across the bridge.
So
and
you
I've
think I'm
been
skinny?
here for a little while now. I think I'll be just fine. On my side
Oh,
of the bridge.
yes. I walked across the bridge. One is probably fine.
Okay. I will walk over.
The bridge
And-
rumbles and shudders as you walk across it. Some of the slate seems to like shift around. Yeah, you recognize that more weight on the bridge could be very bad. But you do make it across
Yeah,
just fine. Just stare down at that dwarf.
Okay, sir, so I can't really. Okay, I'm gonna. Can I do like a medicine check to try and at least like I know he's stable, but can I like at least do some things? I'll even like prestidigitation just to get the blood off of him because I can't actually heal him, but I want to make him feel better.
Yeah, you can prestidigitation the blood off of him, certainly.
Yeah.
You can also do like, a medicine check if you want to just tell how wounded he is. Or
I'll do that. Probably useful to know how close he is to teetering on death. Alright, here we go. +1. Ooh, that's a natural one.
Nice! Let's go! Would you like personal or group pain?
Or one of your 3 inspirations.
Yeah, or one of your 3
Oh, that's true. Actually, because I'm on a bridge at my break.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous.
It's true.
Okay, I will officially use an inspiration.
All right. I'll sack an inspo.
It's just like when I was a kid and I'd always hoard my candy till the candy would go bad and I couldn't enjoy it. It's the same thing with my inspiration. I just hoard it. So thank you. I need the reminder. Okay. 14.
You were the happiest kid on Christmas on Halloween, and yet none of the candy rot in your teeth. You got the best of both worlds. All the excitement, none of the bad parts. With a 14,
I didn't get to enjoy it. Yeah.
With a 14, you can tell immediately that the dwarf is at 3 hit points. Seems as though, he was bleeding out on the bridge to making death saving throws mid-combat. You can tell that he's definitely not doing great. He probably already would have died if he wasn't like, NPC with something going on. He has a new lease on life right now, but he's looking pretty bad. You reckon that he's probably at like maybe like 10% of what he could be at?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. I can't do as much, but my friends can. So, I'm not exactly the strongest here, but let's just try to I'm gonna try and like gently pick him up and walk back with him off the bridge.
He tries to fight you as you try to pick him up.
Okay, do you want to walk then? Because you said that you couldn't walk, and now you can't be carried. So what do you want? I just want you off the spot.
He like slowly rises to his feet, grimacing in pain as he does, some fresh blood pouring down the side of one of his wounds just after you've prestidigitation him clean. And he points over towards the levers, these golden sort of apparatus that's right on the sides of the doors. You might not even recognize them as levers, but there's 6. 3 to the left and 3 to the right. And he says, I cannot reach that. I need some kind of wizard spell to try and open it up. We need to get inside the gate. That is more important than anything else.
Is there like a time cap? Because in case you didn't notice, you're kind of almost dead, and I'm a little tapped out. So I would love for us to just kind of rest and hang out and kind of just like patch ourselves up and and also like to get to know each other a little bit. Like I would like to know your name before I follow you into a mysterious door where on the other side I saw people getting turned into lobsters. But that's maybe just me. But either way, I still think we should rest for a moment. So is this time sensitive or no?
Rest?
I'm so close to what on the other side. This is what I've been looking for. This is the greatest of all treasures that lies inside. And there's just one measly gate between us and that stuff inside. And I nearly dying on my deathbed. This is a miracle. I should be dead, but I am alive. And you want me, nearly dead, somehow still alive, to put it all aside and just wait around?
Given that we are
so close.
Given that we are the reason that you did miraculously survive.
Open the levers, come on.
I'm tapped out. My wavy hands just look dumb now. This is it. This is all I can do. It's just I got nothing.
You don't got any spells.
Like 2, and none of them can like move 6 levels at once.
Well,
I'm a bad wizard, witch.
I
Sorry.
can mage hand telekinesis, but I still think we should short rest.
He like makes a stamp with his foot, kind of angrily. The bridge shakes a little bit. You hear a push of a rock falling into the river below, and he says, "Of all the flaming wizards I gotta be around, it's this one. It got spells. It's a bad one. Fuck."
I'm getting off the bridge. No, bye. If you want to fall to the bridge and make your little tantrums, that's up for you. I already have one child I'm trying to train. I don't need another. This is nope, out of here.
You walk away, and he's already like trying to lean off the edge of the bridge and like see if he can grab the levers. As he's like holding his side.
If we get to the other side and there's another singular thing that we need to fight, we're all dead, sir. Is that what you want? Do you want to all die? Do you want to complete what you got so close to today?
He like leans down from the railing, looks across, and goes, no, I suppose not. Then he like finally listens to reason and just slides down onto the side of the door against the edge of the gate.
That's where you want to be, sir. I will not stop you. But we are going to rest. We're going to do some bonding with our new-ish kind of old friend. And then we will figure out how to open the gates after we rest. What's your name?
You yell, you like tell him like this is how it's gonna be. It's gonna be my way or the highway. Listen, I don't care what you're doing, but this is what I'm gonna do. And as you yell out to him like, can you at least tell me your name? He'll just say, you could freaking call me Merlyle. And I will update his mini.
Don't be rude about it, but.
All right, I suppose. What are you?
Oh, I'm Solana. I mean, you kind of heard us doing introductions earlier, but you were kind of on the ground, like in pain. So,
hold on, it's hard to hear you.
Okay, so this one.
He's gonna walk across the bridge over to where you are at, sort of like making a shooing motion, like get on. I don't want to be on the bridge, and he just shoos you back towards the rest of the group, and then he's gonna slide down against this wall. And just sort of like sit on the floor.
Perfect. Okay.
We searched everything.
Yes. Both of the gladiators had the same object. Oh, actually, you do have another one of those glass prisons, the cages, like the Rubik's Cube, but with the darkness inside. There is another one of those that remain. So, forgot to mention that, but they only used 1 out of 2. So, there's another one.
So we'll take that, whatever it is.
Sure, you can pick it up. When you pick it up, you hear whispers inside of it, sort of saying things like pretty normal.
Normal stuff.
Naturally.
So are we taking a
Not
rest?
demonic.
Probably
I think
demonic.
so. We should.
I know a couple languages.
You do know a couple languages. You do.
It's not something I understand.
It doesn't seem to be.
While we sleep, we should probably take watch, specifically for like other creatures, but also I kind of want to keep an eye on Beryl. I don't trust him with these levers. So Beryl, you showed me what these things do. Why do you want to activate them?
Psionically, Beryl sends you an image again of him changing form back into a person. Like he shows you an image of himself underneath the gigantic machine, as it fires into the Nothic body and potentially becomes what he used to be. And he shows you that what he used to be is like this tall, dark, handsome figure with like rippling muscles, and he's got like a really strong body with this huge cape flowing down behind him, and a big wizard staff in hand with like this clockwork sort of mechanism thing at the top. Got a long chin like an Egyptian pharaoh.
I really doubt that that's the real him, but at the same time, I really hope so, you know? Is this already all charged up? Like, in theory, if we wanted to try and revert you, would we all just need to pull the levers and then it would change you, or?
The barrel lid rises slightly and then shakes up and down, yes.
Oh. Okay, group questions. Okay, I know you guys just kind of heard gibberish. Just to recap, it sounds like this is the machine that formed barrel into barrel. I mean, not an actual barrel, but into the green-eyed thing. The Nothic, not the barrel, but you know what I mean. It sounds like he was originally a human.
Flaming assholes here with you.
Fine, okay. Excuse you. We're like everyone. I don't know.
Is that a deception check?
It's sure.
You want to roll
Why not?
Disadvantage?
Absolutely. 100%.
No.
-1 with disadvantage. Here we go. Okay, 11. Oh wait, no. Did I roll twice? No. Oh.
I think it rolled 3.
Yeah, 3
4
times.
Roll 3.
Oh my gosh,
I
yes, so many
originally
rolls.
I don't know why it clicked so many times. The 2 I actually saw were 11 and 14, so I was going with the 11.
Sure, go with the 11. He looks over at the barrel and just like takes his meat cleaver and like holds it in 2 hands.
Okay,
Puts it on his waist. Doesn't say anything more.
If there were a Nothic, it was clearly changed here into one and could originally have been a perfectly kind person who didn't deserve to be turned or changed. So
Right.
we helped
Or
them.
it could have been a flaming asshole.
I guess we'll find out afterwards. Does everyone want to help me try and revert the Nothic?
Sure.
Yeah, for
Fox,
sure.
We need everyone to
See,
be
I'm
at the
not-
lever. So
Are we going to go in right now? Did we actually launch short rest? I didn't no.
Not yet.
I don't think we've done anything yet. We can also wait till after we've rested. I just didn't know if we wanted to attempt this beforehand. Maybe it's kind of dumb to attempt it now, but I'm just very curious.
Perhaps we should all sleep on it.
Should rest briefly at a minimum, but keep an eye on that Nothic during that time.
How about we do a full rest, but we'll take watch so that the Nothic's never unsupervised.
Very well.
Only we had a Warforged.
If only.
If only.
Would y'all like to array yourselves where you would like to long rest in the Tailspire?
I was having
Like
issues
to be by the
reconnecting Tailspire, but
Oh, hey. You like totally dropped out. Yeah, if you jump back, or you can't connect to it at all.
it was having issues reconnecting to it. I'll try again. Maybe it.
Could be
Sure,
down.
so.
There could be like an outage.
Are we doing a full rest?
I definitely need a full rest. I'm tapped out on
'Cause if
spells.
we do, I want to cast a couple things here.
Yeah, I only
Aid.
have one level 2 spell slot remaining.
Go for it. Then cast away.
I want to cast aid with like extended duration.
Yeah, you can do that.
So it'd be 16 hours.
Let me know when you're back.
Everyone gets.
There
What's that?
Oh, I'm talking to Brad.
Looks
Same.
like I reconnect.
It looks like
I
you're
can take the
reconnecting.
first
and
shift if we need.
I'm gonna fall asleep leaning against the barrel for extra measures of. Hopefully, if he like gets out of it, I'm jostled awake too. Extra precaution.
Mm-hmm. Very well. Xanthar and Pox and Ghroga, where would you like to go?
I'm going to start here, because I'm going to start my shift, and I want to do things in the doing parts of the rest.
I wish to study it. Very well.
I wish to study it.
Be back towards the. Actually, over this way.
We're walking there on that middle part there.
What do you? You want to stand right where you are currently?
Yeah. So I'm gonna precast aid during our long rest, right before the end of the long rest.
Yeah, naturally, you can do that. And Ghroga, you want to be in the same place?
Yeah, so I can have line of sight kind of on everything other than
Nice.
like right there.
Sure. While y'all take your positions and begin your long rest, is there anything people would like to do as far as downtime goes during the long rest? And Pox, this is your moment to shine.
Yes. I would like to call upon that feeling I had where it was reaching out to me
Yes.
and willing it to separate and go into the flask, things like that. I would will it to separate parts and come to my hand.
You want the goop in the flask to come to your hand.
No, new goop.
New goop. Okay.
Goop and flask is dead, correct?
Yeah. You reach down to goop on ground, and like try and mentally communicate for it to come into your hand. And you do see like a slight little wiggle of the goop, and it seems to try to be making its way towards your hand, but it doesn't seem to be able to completely disconnect itself from the larger mass beneath. Try and cut it again?
I would like to try and cut it again.
As you attempt to cut it, you may make a roll for
Just the
any of the
rolly roll.
previous options.
$25.
With a 25 and attempting to slice and sever the thing, you do feel like a mental screaming happen for a moment, and then the scissors just sort of like slightly manage to get a little bit of it snapped off, broken in two. It almost looks to you as though the scissors and the goop itself has bent, as though it had like an iron hard consistency to it, and that the scissors have like more so shaved off a small thin bit of it, enough for it to collapse, for its structure to collapse, rather than like the way you would typically think of a cut. But it does happen. And as you snip it off, you watch as it immediately begins to gray.
As soon as it comes off, I would like to remove my glove and grab it with my bare hands.
Okay. As you reach forth and you grab it with your bare hands, you get like your vision starts to change. You seem to like little bits of wiggling at the corner of your vision, and it begins to intensify, almost like you're going through light speed in the Millennium Falcon. And then all of the white just sort of flashes into lettering, and the whole screen is black and says, "Are you sure you want to do this? You cannot go back to a previous save."
Come back with wings. Come back with wings.
Indeed. Anybody want to take a break and let him think about it? Give him 5 minutes, go to the bathroom,
Give me
things
some
like
time
that.
to think about this.
I'll do a water refill real quick.
All right, take 5. Or come back at 17. Let him think about his decisions. You can discuss it as a team if you want as well. But I'll also exit stage left.
You have to risk it for the biscuit, I think is the saying here.
That's what I'm thinking. Like...
I would not merge with Goop. Don't do it. Oh, it's gross.
Have you decided what you're doing?
I'm curious.
Have you ever
was
known
not
Donovan to play
expecting.
mind games where he'll like say it but really doesn't do anything major? Like, has that ever happened?
Not that I know of.
He's telling you you're gonna die, so.
Yeah.
Wish you would have said that when I crossed the middle crap, you know?
Yeah. I think the one kind of made the choice for you, though.
Yeah.
I rolled the one after.
So my thought
Yeah,
process was, I can't evaluate you. So I want to evaluate myself. And see what it does.
You know, all the best doctors experimented on themselves. It went swimmingly.
Right?
True.
I guess it did help us find penicillin, but that's beside the point.
I could get a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
You could not be you anymore.
I love this thought of you just having this like very deep, intense like internal battle and like choices, and I'm just fucking conked down next to a barrel, just fully out, like just snoring. It's perfect.
You guys get 15 temporary hit points.
Oh, nice.
Forever.
Nice. Hell yeah. This is such a hard decision.
No, it isn't.
It really is. Because, like... I feel like my character would do it, though.
Yeah. I just worry because obviously things worked out okay for Xanthar, but then the drow lady jumped in and was never seen again, so...
True.
She did go in the water, though. she was able to make it back, right? I mean, she didn't go in the goo.
It's pretty much the worst thing you can do.
Oh, I thought she jumped into the goo at the end. Did she jump into the water at the end?
She fell in the goo.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like Terminator with like the dent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens when you touch the goo.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it.
Look, just cut off one of your fingers and add it to that piece of goo. See what happens there.
DM.
And we're back! Have we reached a decision?
We have reached a decision. Now, were all the things I was seeing. No. But were all the things I was seeing just a lead up flavory for the text box?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was just,
All right. Then, this is my course of action. I try to will it into just my hand.
Right.
Into forming a changeling hand. If it does not form into it, I cut my own hand off.
Okay, so you put the goop on your hand.
We're talking a matter of 6 seconds.
You put it on your hand, and then you cut your own hand off. If it does not change it to... Okay.
If it does not do what I'm attempting to will it to do, I will immediately cut it off.
Okay. You take the little goop out of the little flask as you snip it off, and you take the stuff, and you just sort of like very quickly, right as it begins to die, the very edges of the stuff start to turn gray. You can already see it flaking and beginning to move into these slight little strange particles like ash falling from the volcano. And you scoop it up and quickly you throw it onto your hand, and immediately you begin to like sort of grip, moving your hand, sort of like feeling it, willing it. You push all of your mind into this focused desire to force the hand to become the changeling version of what it once was. You immediately feel your body being exposed to something alien and unknown. You can feel the Constitution saving throw beginning to rush through your veins as it begins to morph into your body, and you just slice, and with one singular stroke, you cut the hand off. Blood gushes outwards as the hand like flops around with its own life onto the ground and begins sort of like scuttling, dragging, clawing towards the grate, and then flops into the goop and is gone. With your blood surging out of your body, you immediately like begin wrapping bandages around it, your medical training kicking in as you try and staunch the bleeding, keep yourself alive while all the rest of your team sleeps.
Did we wake up? Because I feel like a loud bang of like the cut potentially could have woken some of us up, or no?
Sure, I'll give everyone, you can all make a con save for how heavy of a sleeper you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Ghroga. Listen, man. I
love it.
Your luck in D&D is so bad.
It's very streaky.
Yeah,
it can be very lucky or very unlucky.
Yeah, Man, I don't know. You're not the most unlucky player I've seen, but you do get the shitter a lot of times, I think.
So that's my casino experience as well. I used to go to the casino a lot, but I stopped after I lost like 14 times in a row playing craps. I don't go to the casino anymore. But I can be very lucky and then very, very unlucky.
Well, at least that pendulum swings in your favor sometimes, am I right?
Yeah, you know,
At least you get the good.
I can be very lucky too.
I will say that only Solana, was that Solana with the 14? Solana, you're the only one who awakens. As your back is to the barrel, you immediately jolt awake as you hear the sound of the chop and the sound of leaking liquid.
Okay. I'm gonna just like literally physically just like crawl over quietly. I don't want to wake everyone else too. Pox, I know you like can change. Can you grow hands as well, or is this gonna be a longer term?
I've never tried.
Okay. Can I help you with anything?
Yes. I would like to take out the severed hand of the changeling that we killed a couple sessions ago.
Yeah.
Hold this. Hold this steady.
Please tell me you cut off the right hand and it's like you're putting a left on the left and it's not like a right-handed hand going on your left hand, like...
It is the one I pictured. Although I never did specify either one, but...
It's true. No, it's fine. It's fair enough. I mean, I imagine if you had this plan, half-cocked, then you wouldn't have made the wrong choice, right? There's no reason for me to force you to somehow have the wrong hand unless I was going to be an asshole, and I'm not an asshole in this circumstance.
Hold it steady.
Prestidigitation it too, and just kind of clean it up a bit too. Like, I want to make sure the site that I imagine he's going to use is as clean as possible.
Sure, certainly.
And I'm going to stitch it onto my hand, or onto my vein, and try to integrate it into my stump.
All right, go ahead.
Changeling to changeling.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Is it with advantage because I'm helping?
Dirty 20, you begin, Solana holding it for you, begin to sew your own hand, or this new hand, back onto your stump, and you sort of like match it up as best you possibly can, all the way until it's a very thin line of separation. You pull the sinews tightly until it just sort of flops around on the edge of your hand, or the end of your arm.
Also, I don't want to distract you during this, but
quite incredible.
Why exactly did you cut off your hand?
The science was inaccurate.
Look, I think it's important. Go for it.
I did not get the result I desired from this fleshy mass. From this fleshy mass over here.
Tangle the head.
You know that one.
Oh.
I thought that I might... I thought that I might be able to, will it to change. I felt something in it the first time I studied it.
And when was the first time you studied this?
20 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. I just did it. Just the way you said that, I just was like, "Did you guys have this? Is this like secretly something you've been studying for years, and this is your major scientific discovery? Is finding more of it? I don't know."
No, the way he said it came across that way, right?
It did.
Like,
it did.
Just like 10 minutes, about give or take 10.
The moment he looked at his watch, I kind of knew.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry the experiment didn't work out. And though I do think it is important for people to have hobbies and passions, I would warn you that, like, there is a limit of what's healthy, and I do feel like cutting off your own hand might be a little bit past that line. So again, fully supportive. You do you, whatever makes you happy. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life and your interests, but just a food for thought.
It was no longer my hand anyway. I'm gonna attempt to cure wounds the bit here in an attempt to pull it together.
Yeah, go for it. Roll me cure wounds and then roll me percentile.
That roll? No. Ah, there we go.
8 healing. Oh, hold on. That's a magic number.
That is a magic number.
Please hold. No. That's
Roll 100.
Either a very good number or a very bad number.
Wow.
Oh no.
What did you roll?
3
on a
out of
on
100.
a 100.
Okay, so you cast the healing magic into the hand, into the lines of separation, and you see the sinew that is holding the thread that's holding the two pieces of flesh together begins to sort of get absorbed as the flesh knits back together, both sides. Like the vessels begin to connect. You can sort of feel some life or some resurgence pop into the hand. And then you feel that the two hands that you have are very different in nature. They don't feel right, almost as though one is a little bit smaller, a little bit more thinner than the other. And it seems like you go to feel and move it again, and it does definitely move again, but it almost seems to like do this weird sort of a thing that you are not asking the hand to do.
Do you usually do that? I've never seen you do that before. Are you just testing, or?
It stops.
It's an evil.
No.
I also award you +1 inspiration for creativity.
Beautiful. Can I try ritual casting Identify on this hand?
Yes, you absolutely go for it.
Okay. Pox, is it right if I see if this... I want to see if, like, the magic in here is, like, working good. Are you okay with that?
Very well.
Okay, get comfortable. This is going to take me, like, 10 minutes.
As you spend 10 minutes doing this, Pox, or you assume you want to remain there for the entire casting, 10 minutes later, as you cast the Identify spell, you determine that there is indeed some magic laced within the very fabric of Pox's body, as he is in fact a changeling creature. You sense that there is some darkness within Pox as well. This strange sensation as though there's something that's not quite right. It almost would be like a stinging sensation to the nostrils, or maybe some sort of like I don't know. It gives you a bad taste in the weave. And beyond that, you sense that there are in fact two different kinds of weaves flowing through his flesh. And so he's got the one that sort of like seems like himself, the whole entirety of his body, and then the second one in the hand that seems somehow slightly different. Almost as though the very minute differences in, well, I shouldn't say minute, the great differences in scents that you get from different people. You know, some people just have a certain odor to them, right? It's almost like this hand and the rest of his body have a different magical odor. And the one in the hand actually seems a little bit nicer. That odor is a little bit less offensive magically than the rest of Pox's body, which seems slightly soured.
Rude but fair.
Do I get the sense of the sourness is anything similar to the sense I have with my own hands? Or a different kind of sour?
It does seem in the same vein, in that you do sense that there's some necrotic stuff going on, but you also hear like it's very quiet, or well, actually there's rushing waterfalls all around you, but you get the sense as though there's some form of necromancy going on here in Pox's whole body. It doesn't seem like your normal necromancy, though. It seems different and seems to give you this like diesel-y tinge to it.
Maybe he's a Warforged.
Okay, well, good news is I think it's all connected. Other good news is it's a pretty clean hand. Like it seems relatively positive. Bad news is you're less so. Positive. I mean, you like. Granted, you do like your inflict wounds. Maybe it's just a byproduct of that. But are you okay?
The hand does not seem to be moving of your own volition. It does not seem to do as you wish it to do.
I wish to study this. This is different.
It's kind of hard to control. It like flops around a little bit, almost as though like, bone to bone just isn't connecting.
You said this seemed different from the rest of me.
Yes.
Interesting.
It was almost like it honestly, granted I saw where it came from, but it almost seems like it really did come from someone else. Someone who doesn't have as much darkness flowing through them.
Thank you for your assistance. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, I'm a light sleeper. Yeah?
Is it time for your shift?
Guess I'm already awake. You do know you can trust me. I mean, I know we've only been, working together, 4 days now? Less than a week? I know it's early. I get it. But I'm here to help if I can help with anything. But go get your sleep. You have a new hand to get familiar with. I want to try one quick thing, though. Hand. Make a fist if you can hear me.
The hand does not seemingly make a fist, but it does sort of flop.
Huh. Alright. Do with that what you will. I hope it's just not like the restless leg thing that keeps you up. That's always the worst.
Pox, you feel as though you have phantom limb syndrome, like you can still feel your hand there, even though you're unable to really feel your hand there. It's very painful. And there's this slight sort of a grinding sensation, almost rhythmically, like where that hand is and where it's kind of moving. It's almost like a scratching.
Itchy.
Itchy.
Very well, I will attempt to sleep on this. Gonna go over to the pillar and sleep next to this lever and keep guard.
Sure, you do.
As I sleep.
Sleep next to that lever. Solana, are you taking watch? Is there anything you want to do during watch?
Just keep a close eye on Beryl. Make sure he's not doing sneaky leaky things. And I'll probably just summon Paylor. Have him kind of sit with me.
Finally. Finally. Do I have a mini for this saved in unique creatures? I probably don't. MNOP. Aha! I do. Paler sits on the edge of the barrel, looking all cute. Its wings somehow strangely like little dappled rays of sunshine and fur. Got a slightly cat-like face to it, despite it being a bird. And as you are resting for the night, please roll me a percentile.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay.
Everyone
I
or
can
just...
do this.
You may choose a victim or a champion who rolls for you. Or alternatively, well, no, yeah, you can do it that way. Just choose a champion, one amongst you. I don't care who it is.
Fox, you did such a good job last time.
Well, I could. Let's see. Percentile, let's go. Almost a 91, but it's an 11.
Oh no.
Okay. So, as you are sleeping there, Solana, you hear something a couple hours into your watch. You hear the sound of a grate as the gigantic gate across the bridge opens.
Damn it.
Hey guys, look alive!
You say to all your sleeping comrades.
Yeah. New hands and all. Without, oh god. Dwarf, sir?
Would you like to attempt to awaken your team? Do you want to go over and fiddle them awake, or do you want to just remain hand slapping Josh as he sleeps?
How far into the night are we?
It's halfway through the rest for sure.
Okay. I'll keep watching it, but I'm gonna let everyone continue to sleep for now.
Okay. Do you want to pretend like you're asleep? How do you want to, or like you just want to watch?
I said I summoned Paylor before.
Yes. Correct.
So I'm going to pretend to be asleep, but kind of talk to Paylor telekinetically, being like, look through that gate. Tell me and describe to me like anything that walked through.
Sure. Do you want to just take over his senses?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I forgot that's
Yeah,
absolutely.
you just be his As you take over Paylor's senses, and wow, this is the best pretending to be asleep impression you could possibly give, given that you genuinely can't use your senses right now, so like you can't move, you know what I mean? It's great. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Authentic.
As you are doing so and looking through Paylor's senses, you watch as a person begins to walk out of the gate. You see what appears to be a person wearing like heavy mail. They seem to have this long sword, sort of wicked, sharp, and angular in their hands. And the further they walk, you see that their clothing is somewhat shredded, as though it's ancient, and they've been holding on to it for a very long time. And it looks as though it's nobility's armor, with some slight crooked endings to it. You immediately notice as the person is walking out that they appear to be sort of cold like the grave, and immediately through Paylor's senses, you recognize a similar a resemblance to Lord Verdot, who had sent you on your mission. And as this person walks out of the darkness beyond into this chamber, they seem to look around. They stand resolute at the across the bridge, just mano a mano with Thumbclaw Big Axe. who is waiting there staring at the bridge as you had commanded him to watch. And in that moment, the one person like turns around, lifts a hand forward, and then you see a second person of almost an identical description stride forward from the gate. They go up to the very end of the bridge, and then one of them moves out from behind their back, produces this rod with this red crystal at the top, clicks a button on it, and you watch as Thumbclaw Big Axe's body goes rigid. Straight up in attention. There's sort of a whispering sound as the creature speaks. And in Sylvan says, "Come." And then Thumbclaw Big Axe.
So seeing this, I would like to ask Paylor. I know I can't like command him necessarily in this, but as best as I can communicate to him, I want him to screech as loudly as he can. Like, I know owls are normally quiet, but I want him to be as loud as possible to wake everyone up.
Sure, go ahead and give me a Constitution check.
Okay. For
Paylor.
Paylor or for
Paylor, as he attempts to screech as loud as he possibly can.
Let me look up the constitution of an owl, unless you have a recommended number.
I mean, it's not particularly great for owls.
No,
yeah, you're looking at it right now. Yeah.
-1. Okay, -1. So we'll just roll this, and then we'll take a -1 with it. Okay, 13.
All right, team. By all means, everyone, you may roll your con saves to try and awaken if you like. As Paylor screeches as loud as it possibly can, one of the people at the end of the bridge just sort of makes a singular ray of sickness in their hand and shoots it at Paylor, just reactionarily, just. And they have a 19 to breach Paylor's AC.
I found his little sheet, and his AC is definitely not 19.
Yes,
so
it is not.
That hits.
Yeah. Paylor takes 26 necrotic damage. As he fizzles out and dies, his heart stops from the ray of sickness hitting his body. He plummets down onto the edge of the barrel. And the creatures, like as Thumbclaw is making his way over the across the bridge, they take a step back off of the bridge and back into the shadows as they cast that. But everyone who rolled higher, who wished to wake up, who rolled higher than the screech.
Oh.
Or sorry, lower than the screech. Get to awaken, if you should so desire.
Wait, lower than the screech?
No, I guess in this instance, well, what do we have? We have a 13, a 22, an 11. Oh no, there's Pox's 12. I will say that Ghroga definitely wakes up with a 22. Well done, sir. Above and beyond the call of duty. And for Xanthar and Pox, I will say you were like groggily potentially awake. Like, you know, you can determine for yourself, if you're a character, how quick and alert you are when you wake up. It's within the bound of reasons that you would, you know, like when your first alarm goes off in the morning, you've set 3 of them, and you're awake enough to like hit the alarm again, but maybe not awake enough to like jump into combat, that sort of a thing. So you're like a half cocked measure. But Ghroga, you're up. You want to do anything?
I mean,
you hear the sound of the owl cry hoot.
The owl hoots and wakes me up. I mean,
the owl hoots, it wakes you up. And then you hear the sound of an owl fall.
I'll look around immediately.
Yeah. Please, by all means, go for it.
Do I see anything from where I'm at?
You see, oh my god. Given your positioning, no, you don't. You see Xanthar asleep. You'll have to move. You see the barrel sitting there alone. Pox is asleep. You might see, like, Pox's hand moving even while he's asleep. It's probably weird.
But I heard the owl, and I heard the owl hoot from the direction of the bridge.
Correct. Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, I'll peek around and like kick Xanthar. Be like, hey, wake up. As I look down.
You look over to see Paylor's body beginning to fade away as it's dead. Solana sleeping against the barrel. Xanthar, you kick awake and he answers or doesn't. Up to him. It looks like he's pretty ready for sleep though, I will say.
Yeah. I roll a 20 for initiative.
You do see from this perspective as well that Thumbclaw Big Axe is going across the bridge into the exposed open gate.
Oh, the gates are open.
You can see the gate is open and that Thumbclaw is going across the bridge right now.
Yeah, I'll yell, the gates are open, and then... Shit. We got that barrel with Solana right there, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be shaking Xanthar awake.
Very well. You begin to shake Xanthar awake. You already kicked him. I presume he's awake. He hasn't said anything, but he can. If he so desires.
Mm-hmm. Did we get to rest or no?
You are halfway through the rest. You can do a short rest, but you cannot do a full rest unless you do only light activity.
Okay.
Guys, I think we might need to let Thumbclaw go. Just saying, like, out of canon. Like, just talking to the group at the table. It looks like they're backing back in. Good.
I want
Because we would die right now against two pseudo, potentially full vampires. But I think we might be losing Thumbclaw. That's why I wanted to wake everyone up, in case people had different feelings about this.
Do I see them down there at the end?
They are particularly far away and attempting to glide into the shadows of the gate. Make a perception check.
$20 total.
Absolutely. You see the glinting of their noble armor in the darkness and like pale white skin, maybe even like the glow of their reddish eyes. And you can see like the big swords they hold as well.
Does it look like plate mail?
I'll
You know,
yell out,
Xanthar, it just might.
Like yell out, who goes there?
Kill the vampires.
You yell out, "Who goes there?" And the all the way across the room, across the bridge, the vampires, as Thumbclaw Big Axe is walking closer to them towards the edge of the gate, they like look over the edge of the shoulder, and they regard you almost as like. You're you're hard to see, you're kind of out of view, like there's the barrel that's there. From their perspective, it's a little bit fuzzy. And they you can see their eyes straining so slightly. And they make this whispering sound with the crashing of the waterfalls. It's really difficult to hear, maybe even you can't hear. If you can read lips, you might be able to understand it. As they say,
"You muted yourself."
No, I didn't. I just did the lip read. You have to read the lips.
Oh.
But does anyone lip read? Do you know what they said?
Tune in next time on D&D.
I was about to say tune in next time. Yep.
You didn't need to hear it. You knew what it was gonna be. Yeah, tune in next time on D&D. You will learn and find out what they are.